Once ScanFold is finished running, all tracks will appear below the gene cartoon. To upload additional tracks, such as annotation and probing data for visualization, go to the main menu bar, select File, and then we can load them from a file, from a URL, or from a server. For our purposes, we'll be loading a file from our local computer. This will then bring you to select the files of interest. For me, I will be selecting probing tracks and annotation data. And once selected, we can hit open, and all of the tracks will be populated within IGV. So all of these tracks are put in random order, but depending on user preference, they can be rearranged, and you can simply do that by clicking the track of interest and dragging it to where you would like it to be. So just as I'm doing here, you can arrange your tracks to your preference. We can also adjust tracks, so such as the base pair track here. If we right click, we can change any of the colors. We can also change the arc direction, which I typically like my arcs to be facing up. We can also rename our tracks, change our positive and negative value colors, as well as change our track height and font size. For many of the other tracks, there are these same options, and several tracks such as probing data, you can also go in and change your type of graph, so you can change it to a heat map or a line plot, whatever type of plot you would like. You can also adjust your windowing functions, your data ranges, and things of that nature. For probing data, I typically like to use heat maps just for ease of visualization of the reactivity values. Additionally, for some of the annotation tracks, you'll notice that you really can't make out what any of the data is, and that is because the tracks are squished. So if you right click on something like the eClip track, you can click expanded, and it will open up the track so that you can see all of the data points. You can also collapse it down like it was, or you can run it as squished, where it shows you the bars, but it doesn't show you the text. With this manipulation, you can also manipulate what you're looking at. Now you can drag your view around simply by clicking and dragging left or right. You can zoom in and out on a specific region of the gene using the plus and minus buttons in the top right corner. Or you can also zoom in on a particular region by going to the chromosome coordinates bar, clicking and dragging over the region that you would like to look at, and it will zoom in. And the more that you click and drag, the closer it will zoom until you're looking at just this small region. Now once you get zoomed in, you may have to adjust your track heights so that you can fully visualize everything. So for example, we can adjust the base pair track height to be 300, and we can see everything that we'd like to see. Now you can do this for any of your track types, and once again we can open up some of these so we can see all of the data. Additional functions that are offered, we can jump to a whole genome view using the house button here. We can go back and forth between previous views using these arrows. We can reload tracks and refresh our screen with the circular arrows. We can define a region of interest to run ScanFold on using the Define Region of Interest button. We can resize our tracks to fit the window with this button with the 4 arrows pointing to the little box. We can also modify our pop-up text behavior and enable a ruler line in our data tracks. So there's a lot of utility that we have in this program, and it's really up to the user preference to decide how everything is visualized and in what way they would like to view their data.